Hello everyone, welcome to a new process video today. I have a single 6x12 page here, and as you can see from these photos, this is part of my Las Vegas album, and these are from the fountains at the Bellagio. And we looked the other way first, looking towards the Bellagio. This way we're looking back towards the Paris, which is where we stayed, and I think I actually prefer this view just because you get so much more in the background. Not that the Bellagio isn't lovely, it is, but it was really fun to kind of look backwards and see all of this stuff along the strip as the backdrop while the fountains were going. So I thought that was pretty cool. So I want to showcase these photos, and I have some purple in here and pink, sort of orchid type colors, which isn't something I would normally expect, but I'm excited to take on the challenge of trying to figure out how I'm going to make that fit with this layout. So I have that. And then I'm thinking maybe a little bit of a matte gold or something, because I have a lot of that showing here as well. But I need a card, I need embellishments. I pretty much need to do everything on here. The other thing to note is that the back of this is a 4x6 photo because this is a full 4x6 pocket. So I will have to just adhere this to the back, and then whatever card I pick will also be adhered. But I don't want to stick it down until the card is all done, because what if I find something that I want to embellish or put staples in? I've made the mistake before where I attach it to the back of something and then realize, oops, I need to put something in that and the staple will show through. So I want to avoid that wherever possible. All right, well, I went into some of my Vegas cards and things that I had out, and I don't think any of those are going to be suitable because the color isn't quite right. So I'm going to have to go into my normal stash of cards, which is fine. Hopefully I'll find something in there. I have found this card, which I think the color will work quite nicely. However, I'm not crazy about this line right here. I know it's supposed to be probably so that you could, stamp a title or put a sticker in there or something and then do your journaling. But I'm not sure how I feel about that. Not sure that I like it. So what I may do is grab out some washi and put it over this line, or at least partially. I just realized if I want to work in the gold, I could do that there. But I think I would want a thinner washi because this is quite busy. And if there's a pattern, it's got to be pretty subtle because there's a lot happening here and I don't want to overwhelm the photos. Well, I think I have found the perfect washi. It is thin, it is gold. Now it does have a pattern, but look at this. I think, no matter how you look at it there, I think that pattern will work nicely with this because it mimics what's in the fountain pattern there. I'm going to try it. If it's too busy, I can always remove it. I am going to have to do it sideways so it won't look, exactly like that. Hopefully that won't be too distracting. But if I put it on and I don't like it, I can just remove it and try a different one instead. When I went to lay this out on here, I decided I did not like it. I don't like the way that looks. So I went back in and looked at my washi again, but lo and behold, I have this one, which actually I think is an even better match, and I can have the pattern going the right way, so it'll match that. So I think this is definitely the winner. Now, I don't want the washi to go all the way across. I want it to just kind of be in between there. So I think I only need like maybe that much. Let's try it here. Put it next to the photo and see what I think. Ooh, I think I like it. And you know what? I could overlap some kind of a phrase label, or I could still stamp in here in black because I have that going. It does leave me some options, but I definitely like it better having some foil there that adds a little shine, and it just breaks up all of that white. In my stash of stuff that I had for Vegas, I found these. These are from Rosie's Studio. They're a company out of New Zealand, so if you've never heard of them, check them out. They have some great stuff. I'm not sure if these are still available, but if they are, grab them. They're so fun. They are foam, by the way. And looking at these, I think I might want to use this one that says Go.See.Do. The only problem is it's very similar to this. I don't want to have too much of that on this layout, so I'm not going to adhere it yet, and I'd have to figure out where to put it. I would think maybe here or here where I have dead space, but I'm not sold on it yet because of that color. So I'm going to hang on to it and go through my stuff and look for some other things, but at least I have a start going with my washi, hopefully with this, and then maybe doing some stamping. I pulled out my 2 Vegas stamp sets that I have, and I like this right here. I like that it's in a scripty font. Makes it a little more fancy, a little more elegant. I think that might work here. Now, the only problem is it's a little too big for this space. So if I want to keep that washi there, that's a very, very tight fit. So I may actually move it up a little. It doesn't really bother me if the tops of these letters go into the purple a little bit. So I think I'm going to try it. I haven't used this stamp yet, so I'm just going to season it quickly to help the ink stick to it a little bit. There we go. So hopefully that will give it a nice surface where the ink can bond to it nicely. Because I've never used the stamp before, I did a test run, and look how good that looks. I'm super excited to get that on the card. Okay, I did the stamping and it went well, but I put it up a little bit further even than I had planned. I'm not super happy that there's kind of this blank space right here. So I think what I may do is go into my stash of stars and try to find one that is purple, maybe even red. There is some red showing here on the Eiffel Tower and then over here as part of Bally's. So I could do that, but I just feel like it needs something there and it would help to bring in more color. Luckily, I have lots of stars in my stash, so I pulled out some that I think might be good here. You can see I have quite a few purple in there in different shades, so I have those. Those are acrylic, and then I have these as well, the little red ones in there with a little glitter. That might do the trick. And then I have these, which are chipboard, Citrus Twist, and Studio Calico. I think maybe not these though, because they're awfully close to what I've got there. I almost want a different shade, but maybe this darker one would be okay. It's a little bit bigger, I think, that I would like, but you never know. I might be able to position it and make it work the way I want it to look, but we'll see. I decided to go with one of the stars from the Citrus Twist set that I had, and look at that. I love it. It's just the right size. It's a slightly darker shade of purple, which is awesome. And you know what? These are self-adhesive. You just pop them out, peel off the backing, and they're good to go. And you know what? That makes me like them even more. Since I have this card figured out now, I feel safe and comfortable with putting this on. And I think I'm going to do it right here because then it's diagonal from the star. And there's a lot of empty dead space there, so why not fill that up with something fun? And like I said, these are foams and they peel off really nicely. And I love it that it also has a little bit of gold foil there for the printing. That works with what I've got going. So I think I will just do it right about there. How does that look? I think so, yeah. Then it makes me think, though, of course, that I need a visual triangle. So I need something over here, maybe hanging off the side here, or even at the bottom, a little circle or something to give me the zigzag motion and the triangle, plus bring in another visual element. Most of these circular elements that I had in my little pocket thing here, envelope thing, of ephemera for Vegas, either they weren't the right color, they were too big, they didn't have the right saying, there were problems. So I did find these two that are just plain, no sayings or anything on them. This was more of a peachy coral color, which I was not thinking of, but you know, it doesn't necessarily look bad. It's just a tad off from what I thought I would use, so I'm keeping it as an option. And then I have this one, which is more of a reddish tone, which certainly would go with the Eiffel. It pulls in a little bit of the Bally's there. I don't think that one would look bad either, and I wouldn't do the whole thing. I'd probably cut it off, and then that gives me room where I could stamp another phrase in there, maybe find another star, just something. It gives me something to work with. And actually, you know what? As I look at these, I think I am going to go with that one because I like the white in it, whereas this doesn't really have that. This helps match the card a little bit so it doesn't feel like this is so all alone by itself. Originally, I thought I was looking for a phrase that I could fit in there, but now I don't think I'm going to. I think I'm actually going to use this stamp set that I have, and I'm going to just use these little stars here. I think those would look nice if I just do them in black. Just as a little design there. Maybe stamp it twice at different angles because the bottom will be cut off. I think that will be enough. Because I had not used that stamp either yet, I did season it, and I did a test pass there, and then I did that, and I really like the way that looks. It's very subtle, but I like it. So now all I have to do is just put it on here and kind of overlap and then cut off the excess. After I did that stamping and attached it, I thought maybe I was done, and then I decided no, I wanted to add some to the card just to bring in the theme a little bit more, and so I just did a little bit hanging off the edge there, and I love that. And then I also realized, hey, I have this little piece that I cut off from up here. I could use that. I'm actually going to tuck it right under here as just another visual element, and then it brings in that color on this photo as well. Okay, I attached that little leftover piece I had and put everything in the pockets. And that just shows, don't get rid of those little pieces before you finished your layout because maybe you could use it for something. That's happened to me more than once. So let's take a close-up look here. There's the top pocket, the middle, and the bottom. And I am super happy with this one. So here's another one finished for Vegas. Thanks for watching.